Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. For today's recipe, we're making Texas famous Puffy tacos. We're going to start out by preparing the filling for the Puffy tacos, and for that we're going to need one large potato diced into small pieces. I'm using a Yukon Gold, but you can use any other type of potato. One green bell pepper and one red bell pepper. We're going to dice them into small pieces just like the potato. We're going to set them aside and we're going to mince 2 to 3 garlic cloves. Place them in a separate dish and dice half a medium-sized onion. Add the onion to the same dish as the garlic and set it aside. For the sauce, we're going to need 4 to 5 chile guajillos. These I removed the seeds and the vines. We're going to add them to 4 cups of water. And to give the sauce a little bit of heat, we're also going to add 4 chiles de árbol. We're going to place it on the burner on high heat. Once it reaches the boiling point, we're going to remove them and set them aside and let them soak in the hot water for about 15 minutes. Once your peppers have completely cooled down, transfer them to the blender along with 1 cup of water to help blend the peppers. Blend for a good minute or until your sauce is nice and smooth. Now that we have everything ready, we can begin to prepare the meat for the Puffy tacos. Place a large pan over medium-high heat. Add about 4 to 5 pounds of ground beef. Using a wooden spoon, begin to break down the meat so it can cook evenly. During the process, make sure to move it around often until the red is very minimal. Once most of the fat has rendered from the meat and it looks like this, we're going to drain out some of the excess fat before we begin to add the vegetables. We're going to start out by adding the onion and the garlic first. Mix it in and saute for a good minute or until they're nice and fragrant. Add the remainder of the ingredients, the bell peppers and the potato. Mix it in until it's well combined with the rest of the ingredients. Once everything is well combined, we're going to add a few seasonings. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cumin and about 1 tablespoon of all-season spice. If you don't have this type of spice, you can also use salt and pepper to your liking. We're going to mix in the seasonings and then we're going to add the sauce from the blender. Mix in the sauce. Once the sauce is well combined with the rest of the ingredients, turn down the burner to a low setting. Cover and let it simmer on low heat for about 15 minutes. For the tacos, we're going to need 3 cups of corn flour. I'm using masa, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder, and about 3 cups of warm water. I'm going to start out by adding half of the water first. I'm going to mix this in, and if I need more water, I'm going to continue adding water a little bit at a time, or until we have a nice smooth ball of masa. I tried making these tacos with just the corn flour, salt, and water, and when I went to fry them, they weren't coming together. So we decided to redo the mixture and add baking powder and flour to the mixture. And after doing that, it really helped and they came out perfect. I ended up using about 3.5 cups of water. Once your masa looks like this and it's nice and smooth and manageable, it's ready. Now we can begin to prepare the tacos. Before we get started, we're going to begin to heat up our oil on medium-high heat. I'm going to be using a small saucepan like this one. This way we don't have to use a whole lot of oil, but we still have some deepness to our oil and our tortillas are going to fry nicely. And the best way to check to see if your oil is ready to go is by sticking a wooden spoon in the oil. If it bubbles around the edges, that means it's ready. Once your oil is hot and ready, you can begin to prepare the tacos. We're going to take a good amount of the masa in our hand and roll it into a nice smooth ball of dough. If you don't have a tortilla press at home, you can also make them by placing the masa between the plastic and using an object with a flat bottom like a pan or a bowl or even a book. Press down on the masa until you reach the desired size and shape. To remove the tortilla, peel off the top layer of plastic, place it over your hand like this, and very carefully remove the other half. Very carefully dip it into the oil. Let it fry for a few seconds or until you begin to see bubbles form around the edge of the tortilla. Once it looks like this, using your spoon or your spatula, gently press down right in the middle. And you want to hold this position until it holds the shape of a taco. Once it holds its shape, gently hug it against the edge of the pan until it's nice and crispy on one side. Once that side is crispy, flip it over and do the other side. Once both sides are nice and crispy, remove it from the oil and place it on a plate lined with a paper towel so some of the excess oil can soak off into the paper towel. These tacos are better enjoyed when they're served right away, so serve them as you're making them because that's when they're still nice and crispy and warm. We're going to begin by preparing the first 2 tacos. And for the filling, it doesn't necessarily have to be ground beef like the one we're using today. You can use chicken, beef, pork, or just about anything else. We're going to add a few good spoonfuls of the filling to each of the tacos, and then we're going to proceed to add the toppings. For toppings, we're going to be using lettuce, tomato, onion, and cilantro. You can also add any other toppings that you prefer. And we're also going to top it off with our favorite Mexican sour cream. And a taco is never complete without your favorite salsa. And now for the taste test. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.